Hello! It was the third day of summer and I was out early. It was morning anyway, early for me, and I decided to go for a walk around the lake, and I got some beautiful photos of flowers that were out and lots of different birds. There's a pair of little black cormorants. They're out there having their breakfast. Didn't get many pictures of them because they were too busy diving. They'd dive down and stay under for ages, and then they'd pop up somewhere unexpected. There were a few dusky moorhens and swamp hens scattered around in various places in the lake, but I didn't see any Eurasian coots until I was on the second half of my walk. Lots of little flowers were around, and if you enjoy pelicans, well, you're in for a treat today. There was this pelican, and it just seemed to want to be wherever I was. Or actually, maybe it just was moving around the lake, and I just happened to keep coming across it. And these trees are getting full of a huge variety of nesting birds. The birds that I have managed to identify in this group include the intermediate egret. They're just pure white with fine feathers as their breeding plumage. The cattle egrets that you can see there with the orangey yellow heads and body parts, as well as ibis and two types of cormorants. Several of the nests have got chicks in them already. Oh yes, and there's the Australian white pelican. Pelicans generally prefer to eat fish. It's a predator. And they also eat frogs and other amphibians and turtles and crustaceans and insects and birds. I saw a photo of one recently that had obviously just swallowed a seagull. You could see the outline of the bird that it had swallowed in its throat. It looked really bizarre. So this one hopefully has got lots of fish to eat, because I'd hate it to be eating some of the little tortoises that are in the lake. But I guess any baby tortoises that might be around could be fair game. We'll see it hunting shortly as we get further into the video. At the moment it's just gliding around and having a lovely pelican time. The trees and the grass that all of these birds are nesting in are on the two little islands that are inside the lake, so you can't just walk in amongst the nests. They've chosen well. It's probably why there's so many birds there this year, and the amount of birds that you see at the moment is about a third of the number of birds with nests that will be there before the end of summer. So really won't tell. Didn't see many of them today. Peewee. It's got a few names, but it's not related to a lark or to a magpie, even though it's often called a magpie lark. 3 tortoises, 2 big ones and 1 little one. This is when I first discovered that there was more than one little pied cormorant at the lake. Usually there's only ever one there, and I think there was about half a dozen of them there by now. Here we go. The chicks are all white, whether they belong to the intermediate egrets or the cattle egrets. The cattle egret's normal colour is pure white as well. See the fine feathers on the intermediate egret? That's its breeding plumage. That's a young bird. The beak and the legs will be changing colour. There's a lot of cormorants up in that tree, both the little black cormorants and the little pied cormorants. I recently did a bit of Googling and I found a YouTube video on the crested pigeon's alarm call. And if you're interested in hearing the sound they make with their wings when they are giving an alarm call, just do a bit of a Googling on crested pigeons alarm call. I was keeping my eyes out for parrots and the little superb fairy wrens, but there weren't any around this part of the lake. I've seen the swamp hens running around with big seeds like you can see on that tree there, and I was wondering if that was where they were getting them from. Don't know what they are. The pelican must have just flown down to the other end of the lake. Parrot just gives a couple of chirps here. This area was closed off for repairs in the last video I did. I think there's a bird nesting under that dragon. See at the right hand end just under the hut. There's tortoises swimming amongst a whole lot of little baby fish. This is a spot where I like to sit on the seat, and there's usually the ducks, and that water dragon is usually there as well with the ducks. And lots of pigeons. And that's a noisy miner. It's very aggressive with anything that it thinks is in its territory. There's been some severe flooding just west of where we are here, and there's people needing rescuing, and there's a couple of helicopters flying out west. So I presume they're going out to either see the damage or help with emergency assistance as required. There's another little cormorant, little pied cormorant. And the welcome swallows all gathered there. This little lizard, I haven't seen one of them at the lake before, but I guess they're everywhere. They're in houses and everything. They're just tiny little lizards, and they don't do any harm that I know of. I've enjoyed this walk. It's been so many different birds, and now my day's made by the appearance on the path of a whole lot of little superb fairy wrens. I'm up at the top of their little hill now, and it's not far to the car park. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a like and make comments, would be helpful. And if you want to see future videos and you haven't subscribed yet, well then it might be a good idea to subscribe. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed. I do hope you enjoy the videos you managed to watch. So this is the end now, and I'll say bye for now, and thank you for watching. And that's a swamp hen followed by her little chick. There's probably a whole lot more little chicks hiding in among those plants there. And a speedy female fairy wren, she's running.